So in this video, I wanted to do a quick comparison between two new Zebra pens. First, we have the Zebra G-750 gel pen, and this is the Zebra G-450 gel pen. Both these came out this year. They're both part of the Zebra Steel series, which is sort of like Zebra's rugged pens, and they're both using the new Steel series design aesthetic, which is a sort of cool, modern, all-black deal. Which is, a lot different than the previous design, which was silver and sort of dated at this point. Both these are really highly awaited. They were delayed a number of times, and finally they dropped in, I don't know, maybe February, March, something like that. It's all kind of a blur this year. Anyway, you may be trying to decide between the two, and it's not entirely clear what the differences are if you're looking online. Hopefully this video will help you choose between the two. So first of all, the G450 is I would say the lower of the two. It's the less expensive of the two. It's the smaller of the two. I think it sells for about, I don't know, maybe $8 right now, $7 right now. You can buy it in a 2-pack. So it's a relatively affordable pen. It's on the smaller side. The 4 series, so like the G450, that is a pen that the previous pen was called the G402. G means gel, 4 is just the 4 series, and then the 5002, whatever, that's just the model. It doesn't really mean anything. The 4 series has a rubberized grip, and it's a smaller pen. When you move over to the flagship, that's the 7 series, you have a metal grip, and you have an all-metal pen, and it's a good deal larger. The G750 is a lot larger than the G450. I would say that is the number one difference between the two. So I'll line up the ends here, and you can see it's considerably a larger pen. The G450 is not a gigantic pen. It's just a good deal larger than the 450, which is on the small side for a sort of a pen like this. And I'll just pull out a couple of references now. Here we have a Uniball Jetstream, kind of pretty standard pen. It's like bigger than the 450 and smaller than the 750. Makes total sense. Here we have this is a Rotaring Rapid Pro. This is a large pen, to be clear. It's a little bit larger than the 750, but it's a similar pen. So if you have a Rapid Pro, I think you kind of know what you're getting into. And then here we have what's this? A Zebra, a Z-Emulsion, and that is, again, more in line with the 750 size. And just marking that the 750 is a good size pen, but it's not gigantic. It's more that the 450 is a smaller pen. So far, the differences we have are the price. The 450 is a good deal cheaper. It's like maybe, again, $7, $8. The 750 is I think 12, 13, around there. The 450 is on the small side. 750 is a good deal larger. 750 is all metal. 450 has a rubberized grip. The rubberized grip is not a worse feature than the knurled grip on the 750. In fact, a lot of people prefer the rubberized grip. It's better with gloves and in cold weather and things like that. But the rubberized grip is just less expensive to produce than this really nice metal knurled grip, so you see it on a less expensive pen. The other major difference is that, and maybe people wouldn't consider this to be major, but it is notable. This barrel, it's a brass barrel. They both have a brass barrel. It is round and then has one flat side where the clip is. The 750 moves to a much more complex shape. It's essentially triangular with rounded corners. So, I mean, it's flat, 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 round, so on and so forth. It doesn't really affect the pen, it doesn't really affect the feeling of the pen, I guess, because you don't hold the barrel, but it does make it look quite cool, and it gives it flat ends, so it will kind of sit up here, kind of on an angle when you put it down sometimes. It's not really a big deal. This pen, obviously, you can't, I guess it will barrel balance a little bit if you get it just right, but it's round, whereas this is faceted. It's really just a cool feature because Zebra was able to do some cool stuff with a more expensive pen. Same with this little feature right here on the G750. You see these nice lines in here. They don't do anything. They don't prevent this from twisting because it doesn't twist without the lines. But, you know, nice little feature. It's cool that they did it. Adds a little bit of extra flavor to the pen. A lot of the features are the same, right? So the top, we have those little red stickers. That's the same on both. The clip is identical on both. It's not any bigger on the 750, even though it's a bigger pen. We see this little band right here that says the medium gel. That's just the refill that comes with the pen. That's the same. The grips are almost the same. The front cone piece, which is not removable, it is similar but not the same. So, and then I guess the refill goes without saying. If you've investigated the refills or you've watched my previous reviews, the refills are all the same. This is Zebra's JK refill. They sell it with these pens in a 0.7 and a 0.5 millimeter. You could buy it aftermarket in a 1.0 millimeter, but these pens aren't sold with the 1.0 millimeter. I think these pens only sell with a black refill, but if you buy refills from Zebra or on Amazon, whatever, you could get it in blue as well. So I put a 1.0 millimeter in blue in one of these. That's just my preferred size. And then I have the stock refill in the other. As far as the components, they are very similar, which means what you can do is, if you want to get a 750 front end and put it on the 450, you can do that and it works fine. Now I have a shorter, heavier pen than I would otherwise. I mean, shorter than the 750, but longer than the 450. Now I have sort of a hybrid pen. It works great. So if you want to, I guess, ruin your 750 and get a hybrid 450, you can do that. If you want to go ahead and do the same with the 450 grip, but the 750 barrel, just because you say you wanted a rubberized grip on your 750, it doesn't work quite as well. You'll see here that there's a little gap here. The threading works, which is nice, but you do have a little gap here where there's no gap on the other version we just did, and the band will bounce around a little bit. Maybe you could fix that with a larger band, or maybe this doesn't bother you. But also when you click it, you get a short end. So this will work. It's fine. It's functional, but aesthetically it doesn't look that great. So it's not really a great swap, but I guess it's not impossible to do if you really, really wanted a rubberized grip on your 750. So the parts are somewhat interchangeable if you want, but not perfectly interchangeable. So just to kind of think through what you're doing before you get into it. Lastly, I just wanted to talk about the weight. I talked about how the 750 is larger, which it clearly is, but it's also a good deal heavier. The 750 is 29 grams, so it's definitely a heavy pen. And then the G-450 is 20.5 grams. So it's not like a super light pen, but it's definitely a lighter pen. As far as the writing experience goes, like I said, I swapped these refills, so it's like not going to be a perfect comparison, because these aren't using the stock refills. I think I ran through the included black one. The G-450 is light. It's a little small. Sometimes you could feel this clip in a weird place with your hand, just because the barrel's not very long, and it has the rubberized grip, which I like and I think it's comfortable. It does collect a lot of grime and pocket garbage. 750, definitely a larger pen. Feels heavy, feels long, feels a little bit top heavy, maybe. And then I do find it to be comfortable to write with if you're okay with a pen that's approaching that 30 gram mark. That's not a lightweight pen, but it's not like your hand will be exhausted from using this. I will say that from a comfort standpoint, this knurling is on the smooth side. It might look really grippy here, but it's totally not. So the pen, even though the knurling looks great, it's actually kind of a slippery pen. You can go with a rougher knurling if you get the Rotaring Rapid Pro, but then it gets worse about picking up garbage. This is just from being in a bag or a pocket or something, and it kind of always looks dirty, but you have more grip and it has a stickier feeling. This is really smooth, but it stays relatively clean. You know, you could wash off the knurling pretty easily with like an alcohol pad, or just maybe a wet. You can't use a paper towel. You can use anything that's going to tear, but like a wet rag or something, it will clean up. That's not a problem. But this one stays. nice and pretty good looking, whereas it is less comfortable, which I find it to be a little slippery. So I think that's a pretty thorough comparison between the two. I'll just line them up one more time so you have a really perfect size comparison. Yep, that should pretty much cover it. I'd probably recommend just buying both of the pens. They're not that expensive, and I really like both of them. Between the two, I do tend to prefer the 750, but I prefer a slightly larger, slightly heavier pen when I'm writing, whereas the G450 is more something you throw in a pocket or throw in a bag, at least in my mind. I can see someone using the 450 every day, but for me, it's more of a kind of a pocketable pen. I really like both. I prefer the 750, and I've been using these pens a lot for, I guess, going on like 3+ months now. You can check whenever I did the initial reviews, and I had them for some time before that. So I think they've held up nicely, and they're good pens. I do prefer the 750. So there you go. If you have any questions, please leave them in the bottom in the comments, and I'll follow us up with some more videos. Thanks for watching.